Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that are really frustrating me within my business. These are things that I basically hate about the Amazon FBA model. They're issues that I'm dealing with, my team's dealing with, and it's affecting our strategy going forward. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this video. Stick around to the end. If you guys don't know, my name's Lamar and I'm a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller. We have 3 private label brands. The majority of our sales comes through Amazon, but then we also have 3 Shopify websites where we're working to diversify off of Amazon as well. Before we jump into today's video, I wanted to make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button and that you're giving this video a thumbs up if you're getting some value out of it. And of course, like always, if you've got a question about something that I've said in the video, or you're just looking for some feedback on something that you're potentially struggling with within your business, drop a comment. I'd be happy to answer each and every one of your questions. This video, like I said, is about 5 things or 5 problems, 5 major things I almost hate about the Amazon FBA business model. These are real problems that I'm dealing with right now within my business, and I'm here just going to be sharing them with you. Now, the point of this video really isn't to discourage you from the Amazon FBA opportunity. I still think that it's a great opportunity. There's still a lot of opportunity within this space, within niche markets. We're still seeing great success selling and launching products on Amazon. However, what this video is about is giving you guys some insight, showing you that the entrepreneurial process, whether it's this business or another business, is a roller coaster ride. There's going to be these highs and lows. And the things I'm going to be talking about today is just part of that process. There's going to be good days and bad days. And it's just about our ability to kind of fight and push through that. And that's really more about what this video is going to be about. And I'm just going to be sharing kind of those struggles, those things that are really bothering me right now, specifically dealing with Amazon FBA. All right, so the first thing on the list here, the first kind of struggle, the thing that I hate about the Amazon FBA business model, which I'm sure is affecting a lot of you out there, and this is kind of the big elephant in the room, is the tariffs. Okay, so as you know, Trump's been rolling out these tariffs over the past year, and now I've actually felt the impact of these tariffs. Just last month, a couple weeks ago, I was importing a product, and this product was usually costing me about $400 to $500 in tariffs, and I paid over $3,000 this time importing this product. Okay, obviously that's going to have a huge impact on the margin, but it's also having a pretty big impact on cash flow because I need to essentially upfront that capital to pay for that tariff at the time of importing instead of not having to pay that at all, or just keeping that cash for other products that I could invest in. It's just tying up more capital sooner into the logistics cost rather than keeping that capital to use for other things. So what's unfortunate about this is that these tariffs have impacted pretty much across the board on all of my products. And I had some pretty decent margins on some products that, were pretty good for us. I wouldn't say that they're home run products, but they're pretty good products for us. The tariff has a really diluted or eroded our margin on several products. And how I've essentially responded to that immediately has been to try to regain our margin. So I'm increasing our pricing on Amazon. I'm passing on that cost to the customer. And I'm also reducing our PPC cost on Amazon. So I'm reducing our marketing spend just to be able to determine if I'm going to be able to maintain an acceptable margin to keep that product on board. There quite honestly are probably several products that we're just going to have to, cut. We're not going to be able to, reorder again due to the increased tariffs. Now, the one positive kind of scenario here is that these tariffs are affecting probably the majority of sellers on Amazon, especially within, my categories. and especially within the categories that we're selling in. So if I'm raising my prices, hopefully the other sellers in the category are also thinking about raising their prices, and we'll be able to just pass that on to the consumer. So those were some immediate actions that I've taken kind of in response to the tariffs. Some other more strategic tactics that we've been trying. Initially, we tried to reclassify some of the products. So putting our products in other classification areas, because you might find that some products could potentially fall in multiple, categories. So we started looking into other categories to see if we could place the products in other categories that would have a lower kind of tariff code. That really didn't work out too well. So we haven't seen much success in trying to switch the products over. It's also potentially like illegal if you're putting it into a category that's like irrelevant. But sometimes products like don't have a clear classification, and you might be able to put it into another classification. And anyways, that was kind of our thought, and we were trying to do that. Another thing that actually has been working for us though is now we are asking our supplier to essentially provide the ex-works price and the FOB price on the goods that we're purchasing from them. And the basic understanding here is that the ex-works price is the price that the factory is charging you if you essentially picked that product up from their factory. It is the cost of that actual product. When the factory gives you that FOB price, they're adding on a little bit of transportation cost between transporting your product from the factory to the port so that they can hand it off to your freight forwarder. Well, that extra transportation cost isn't really a cost that should be included when calculating the tariffs, because that's a transportation cost. It's not actually the raw or the cost of goods sold that comes straight from the factory. So we've been using now the ex-works price from the factory as kind of the total cost of goods sold that we're now providing to the U.S. Customs brokerage. And that has, it helps reduce the cost that we're paying a little bit. And anywhere that we can save, a couple $100 is worth doing. So if you guys aren't doing that, make sure you're getting your ex-works price and your FOB price from your factory. And while of course you're going to be paying your factory in the FOB terms, you can use the ex-works price to give to the custom brokerage as the price to declare for duties. We've also started looking into sourcing products from other countries, and this is still at the early stage, and of course it's not going to work for every single product, but for a couple of products we started doing this. We started looking at Vietnam and Cambodia, which came out way more expensive than what China was offering. The closest pricing that we've seen has been coming from India. However, I've heard that India's supply chain and logistics network just isn't as set up as China, and I'm a little bit worried about scaling different suppliers in India and just the logistics that could come from, even if we did source a product from within India, what would be the other logistical issues that we might face. So I don't have any experience manufacturing or sourcing from India, but if you guys do and you've had a good or bad experience, I'd love to hear about it. Please drop a comment below and give me some feedback. Have you had good success, sourcing products from India? India has been the only comparable country in price-wise to China. But like I said, I'm worried about some of those logistic issues. The next problem, or problem number 2, thing that I hate about the Amazon FBA business model right now, is that one of my suppliers is just really not reliable when it comes to lead time. Now, interestingly enough, this is my only supplier from the USA. Okay, and they give me a lead time within a range. It's always like a 30-day range, and then they never deliver within that range. It's most of the time always late. Sometimes it's early, but they're always just giving me a range, 30-day range of like the product will be done between this time and this time. No matter how much I push them to give me a specific like week or when it's due, they're just like incapable of giving me a direct lead time of when the goods are going to be finished. So as you can imagine, that's super frustrating for me just to plan inventory, and especially right now when we're moving into the holiday season and I was expecting products to be done last month that are not fully completed off the production line, and now things are getting delayed, and it's likely that the inventory that I was expecting for the holiday season won't be here in time, or is going to be like a little bit late. So it's obviously just like pushing everything back. Luckily, I do have a little bit of a buffer in there, but just the fact that it is ongoing like problems with one of my suppliers here, and like I said, it's one of my US suppliers, how they can't give me an accurate lead time. The other thing with them is that they refuse to do packaging for me. Okay, and initially, this was actually my first product. Initially, we were shipping all this product back to my parents' house, and I would package the product with help from my mom. We would like package the goods up and then ship them into Amazon for Amazon fulfillment. We're no longer doing this. I've hired a prep company, so all of the physical touch of the product is no longer handled by me or my team. Just the fact that this supplier is refusing to do packaging for us is also just like another frustrating thing. So not only do they not do the lead time correctly, they're also not doing packaging for us. So we have to find another third-party prep company to do the packaging for us. It's just a logistical, nightmare to an extent with these guys time and time again. So it's something that I've kind of gotten used to, but it's applied a little bit more anxiety on me this time around just because it was around the holiday season, and as you know, we don't want to miss out sales when the holiday season's around. The third problem with the Amazon FBA business model here is that one of my employees just recently quit. This was a remote worker. So as you guys know, or maybe you have a remote worker or a VA, people that are helping you remotely. Now, it's great because it gives us a lot of flexibility with our time. We're allowed to and can find talent from all over the world. There's a lot of benefits to hiring remote workers. However, this worker unexpectedly quit very quickly. She gave me about 2 days notice and just completely dropped all of her projects. Not the most professional way to obviously leave a company, and this really, put us back a couple weeks. I had to immediately start looking to find a replacement for her, not to mention all of her open-ended projects that she kind of just like left there for, me and the rest of the team to kind of like pick up where she left off. Now I wanted to give you guys a tip here because I have been finding a lot of great success with finding help, and that's part-time, full-time help from a website called onlinejobs.ph. I've been finding a lot of great talent on the website, and I just wanted to give you guys kind of that tip there. If you're looking for someone to hire part-time or even full-time, take a look at that website and see what's available. I think that delegating tasks and hiring people has allowed me to think about higher level strategy on the business. It's also reduced a lot of stress for me because I don't have to be physically making every single decision for the business. I've now delegated, empowered, the rest of the team to kind of do those things for me, which has helped quite a bit. So if you guys are in a similar situation, and you're looking to scale your business beyond just yourself, I would definitely check out that website. Found a lot of great value using it. The number 4 thing on the list here for things that I don't like about the Amazon FBA business model is product failures. Now, of course, nobody wants to fail, right? Nobody wants to have a failed product. You put all this hard work into research, sourcing, launching that product on Amazon, and sometimes there's just things that are outside your control, and a product does fail. And that's just the reality of this type of business. And in fact, that's the reality with any business here. you becoming an entrepreneur, you taking your destination, your financial freedom into your own hands, there's going to be risk involved with that. And it's not realistic to think every single one of your products is going to be a home run success. Maybe you thought it originally was going to be a home run success, and then it's just a little bit success, or maybe it's not a success at all. But I guess what's frustrating about this business model is that, of course, every product that you launch, you want to have these home run successes or these big breakthroughs in the category, and you want to be making a ton of money. And the reality is that just doesn't always happen, right? It's a lot of consistent base hits, stepping up the plate, swinging the bat, and getting on base. And you just continuously repeat that process, and eventually, your base hit will turn into a double, your double will turn into a triple, and so on and so forth. That said, not all products are even gonna be base hits, and they're just gonna be a complete failure. Now, of course, there's things that we can do to prepare ourselves, to make sure that we have the best chance of setting up for success. However, like I said, you might have really high expectations, and those expectations aren't met for whatever reason. Sometimes those are out of your control. And just this fact has been bothering me a lot recently. I've been thinking a lot about what makes a product successful and what makes a product failure. And I'm actually going to be building a kind of a failure resume, because I think it's really important to analyze the failures, analyze why products went bad, analyze what made this product a failure, and really try to break it down so that we can learn from those failures. And I think that's oftentimes more important than trying to analyze why a product is successful. But why do these products failure? Anyways, I'm going to be sharing kind of that failure resume with you guys. I think it's going to be pretty valuable. I'm going to try to break down really why all of my product failures have been a failure, and then share those lessons with you guys. So speaking of product failures here, item number 5 is I ordered too many units of a couple different SKUs, and these products were essentially a failure. Now, they're not a failure in the sense that I'm losing money on them. They're just a failure in the sense that I'm not selling them as quickly as I would like to. And I think I ordered about 1,000 units of a couple of them, and I basically have, at the current sale rate, I've got about 4 years worth of inventory. Okay, so I've got a ton of inventory and a product that only sells a couple units a month. Now, granted, it is profitable a couple units a month. However, the missing piece here is that it's tying up a lot of cash. And cash flow, as you probably, if you haven't already experienced, managing your cash flow is going to be a crucial aspect to running a successful e-commerce business. And while this product is selling profitably, it's tying up a lot of cash. And that cash is being held in inventory, and it's preventing me from investing that money into other opportunities, into other products. So we're thinking about how we can essentially then spike these sales back up, even if it's at potentially a little bit of a loss, just so that I can get that cash back and then invest it in other products, other new products that we are looking to develop. So there you guys have it. Those are kind of the 5 things that have been more recently affecting me, affecting my business, things that I've been kind of hating on the Amazon FBA business model more recently. Like I said at the beginning of this video though, I don't mean this as a discouragement. I'm just trying to give you some insight into the roller coaster ride that I'm facing. These are the challenges of this week, and the challenges that we faced last year and the year before, we've been able to push through them. And I'm sure we'll be able to push through these challenges, and you being an entrepreneur, creating an Amazon FBA business, will be able to do the same thing. This is purely just insight into the fact that we're all going through this together. The challenges that you face, of course, are going to be different, but they're still challenges at the end of the day. And this is just part of the process of becoming an entrepreneur, building a successful e-commerce business. And I wish you guys the best of luck. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up on the video if you got a couple of pointers out of today's video. And like always, guys, go out there, crush it on Amazon FBA, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.